Let's talk about 3 things that I have invested in since I've moved to Atlanta that have given me extreme returns on my investment culturally, right? I'm Irnise. I talk about everything between healthcare and the law, as well as business and lifestyle, and I share about my experience here in Atlanta because it is different. I am older, older millennial. I am a mom, I'm a wife, and so I see Atlanta from a different perspective, not necessarily from all the brunching and the going out and the rooftops, which I do as well, but also for the cultural richness that this city has to offer that I absolutely love. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button below, share, and then of course hit that notification bell so that you can be aware of future posts as they come out. And don't forget to subscribe. So Atlanta is a very interesting place. A lot of people say Atlanta is not real. And when it comes to the driving, Atlanta is not a real place. Atlanta is not a real place, okay? It is extremely stressful to drive in Atlanta. Not only just the traffic, but the way that people drive is also extremely challenging. But even more importantly, what I have found and what I have experienced as a newer Atlanta resident, I stay a little bit outside of Atlanta, closer to the airport, but everything I do is in the city, is that a lot of people don't value or understand the cultural richness of this city. And when I talk about the cultural richness, I am talking about the museums. I'm talking about the events, the music scene, of course, the food scene, and not what you see online, but the actual people who have committed to building and creating an amazing experience here in the city of Atlanta. And so I love to share the different aspects of the city so that people can come here and not only get the turn up, but also, get to experience the truth of what the city has to offer. So one thing that I invested in when I first got here was a membership to the High Museum. And that is one of the most beautiful museums I've ever been in. They have some of the best exhibits, but they also have some of the best events. When you become a member, you can also join different groups. So as a young person, you can join the young people's group, and they have events for that. They have events on Fridays like jazz and yoga, and a turn up night, because what we gonna do in Atlanta, we always gonna turn up, and so many things to offer. And so that membership also comes with like free parking, and the parking garage is typically, during the operating hours, and the parking garage is typically, not full. So that allows me to park there as well, which parking is a big thing in the city. But it has given me just like a appreciation for the cultural center, which is around the High Museum, the Alliance Theater, and then other things that have kind of been built in that area. Just give me such a huge appreciation for that. And I've seen so many exhibits. I brought my children. Once you buy a membership, you can also, have guest passes so you can share with your friends and your family when they come into town, or for those who live here. But it gives you just a connection to the city, and to the people who love this city in a different way. So I attended an event where we were like doing art, and I met someone who had been going there since she was a child, and since her daughter was very young as well, and how they have just invested their time and their energy in the city. And there are so many people who just don't appreciate what the city has to offer. The other thing I mentioned was the Alliance Theater. So my children take acting classes there. They're extremely affordable. They have them on Saturdays and Sundays during the school year. They have summer programs as well. And again, the richness of the city lives in the culture of the city, and that includes the theater scene. There are amazing shows there right now. The Preacher's Wife is there with Amber Riley. I can't remember the other person who is in the show, but I'm definitely going to try to see it before it leaves in mid-June. Deeply just amazing experiences. There have been events that we've attended there at the Alliance Theater as well. And it's just a beautiful space to be in, to just go visit, to walk around, and all of that. The third thing are the sports teams, right? We got partial season tickets for the Hawks last year, just to test it out to see how much we liked it, and we loved it. And what we thought was, we're going to go to the games, we're going to have a good experience, but the member events were better than the games for me. Like, the games are great. I love the Hawks. I got my Hawks jersey. I'm down. Let's go. Good time. Always. The halftime shows are great. Always good entertainment. But the member events were even more enriching. I actually met someone who is now like my good girlfriend, and we hang out and we go places, and I get to share the cultural experiences of Atlanta that she hasn't experienced, even though she's been here longer than I have. And that's super important for us to be able to build connections and build community and find new people and places to experience and to go. I am also a season ticket holder for the Atlanta Dream, WNBA, support women's sports. And when I say support, I'm not saying do it as a charity because you're like, oh, we're just going to go because they can't fill up the space, but go and experience an Atlanta Dream game. I went last year. I'm not sure where I got, maybe the Hawks gave us free tickets. I can't remember, but I went and it was an amazing time. And I was like, oh, I could do this. And I've gone the last few games. And again, the opening halftime show was Trillville. Like, what it is. What's up? What's up? Like, what? A good time. I took my son. We had a blast. I ran into people who I hadn't seen in a while. I mean, again, a cultural center, a cultural experience. And that is just a few of the things. I've also invested in becoming a member of the Botanical Gardens. They also have amazing events throughout the year, whether they're changing exhibits or during the holidays. So much to offer, so much to see, and it's become an expectation for my kids of like, oh, when are we going here? When are we going to the games? Or when are we going to the Botanical Gardens or the High Museum? And it has just become the cultural center of their life. And there are also so many parks, festivals, so much music scene. And I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more about the food scene because my view of the food scene is a lot different than most people. I'm not doing a whole bunch of chicken and waffles. I don't eat chicken anyways. Whole nother story, but I'm not doing a whole bunch of the same types of foods when this city has so many cultural food options that are just that good. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Atlanta, and you want to see Atlanta from a different space and a different view, feel free to like this video, drop your comments on some of your favorite cultural experiences and places that you've been, if you visited or if you live in this city. And then, of course, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell and share with anyone who may want to experience Atlanta in a different way. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to come back and share more about my experiences here. Talk to you guys soon. I know I'm yours, baby, so come give me